actually go around and talk about. Good morning, everyone. This is the Package Team Weekly Sync for the 15th of October, and we will kick off by first. I've included a link in our agenda for looking at our metrics and bugs. People can pull that up. Right now, I'm actually in the process of creating a different dashboard in Periscope that should give us some updated information as well. I think the big takeaway here with that spreadsheet for the bugs that we have is just to take a look at that, and this is sort of the forms the basis of what Tim and I are trying to make sure we're addressing in our milestones as picking up bugs. And so just everyone should know that's where we are getting our metrics, and that our important metric there as relates to our OKR is the MRs per engineer per month. And that's characterized here as weekly throughput or monthly throughput. So take a look at that. The OKR we have is to get 10 MRs per engineer per month, and we just have to work towards that. I am failing at introducing Nadia, who is joining us as our UX manager. Welcome, Nadia. If you want to say hello and introduce yourself or not, that's totally cool too.
Yeah, hey, thanks Dan. Hello everyone, I met some of you already, and yeah, I'm going to be meeting the rest of you soon. I'm setting up some coffee chats. I joined GitLab last week as the UX manager for CI/CD. So I'm going to be working close with Ian and with the rest of you probably. So getting familiar with things right now, with processes, getting to know people. It's a lot to do, as you know from your own experience probably. Yeah, so trying to get up to speed. I'm located in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands. Living with my cute dog who is sleeping over there. Yeah, it's a Shar-Pei. Jesus, he's sleeping. Yeah, excited to work with you all, and yeah, nice. Wanted just to say hi.
Welcome, Nadia. You're getting a little bit of a better version. When David joined, I didn't introduce him until like the next day. I did a terrible job. So excuse me for that. I should have started the meeting off with an introduction. I apologize. Welcome. Glad to have you. If there's anything we can do to help, please reach out and ask. I believe you're relatively close to where Ian is. And so you'll have a buddy there if you ever need anything in your own time zone, but everyone's kind of, I think Nico's similar time zone. So welcome. Number 2 here is async issue updates. A couple of teams are playing around with the idea of having like a weekly / just a regular schedule for putting asynchronous updates inside the issue they're working on, and that takes a particular format. Might be worth discussing. If people feel like this might be useful, we can put an issue in our team board to sort of chat about it. But basic idea is you're always giving some people who are following the issue an update of what's happening, and it's asynchronous, so you can do it on whatever schedule you're working on. So people could take a look at that, would be good. I think it could be helpful for us, but I'm happy to sort of go either way depending on whether people actually feel like they'd like to do that or not. This is a late reminder, but it's worth a reminder. Eric had sent out an acknowledgement, a request that everyone send back a response for. You should have all done that by now. If you haven't, make sure you have. It came out as an email, and just go and make sure you act. Downtown San Diego, lots of loud noises, I apologize. Just go make sure you act that. We have an async retrospective for 12.4 that's already been created. If people want to go check that out and start adding items there as you go through, it might be a little easier than doing it like all at the last day or last several days. We've been pretty good about getting ours done, so no drama there. Just throwing it out there as it's already in existence. Go ahead, Ian.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring up with everyone the idea of an async brainstorming session. I talked about it a little bit at our Think Big, but it's an opportunity for us to come together and explore new ideas. It's based off of a synchronous workshop that I ran all the time when I would work with clients and agencies, and everyone would kind of come to the table and have an opportunity to draw out different ideas. I think because we're all a technical team, you're also our users, so that would be kind of silly for us not to take advantage of that. I've never done it fully asynchronously before, so this is a bit of a trial. I will flesh out the details in the next couple of days, and then I'll reach out to everyone and get everyone connected to the issue of how I'd like you to do it. As we go through it, it would be great if you could provide some feedback. You know, is this a useful metric or way to do this? Is it more effort than it's worth? That kind of thing. Because if it's successful, that's great. And if it just slows us down, you know, I don't want to repeat it. Does anybody have any questions?
Nice initiative.
Sorry?
Say nice initiative, sorry. Do you want to interrupt?
No worries. I am terrible about that, so I will probably do it to you at some point. I apologize. That's all I wanted to cover. I'll flesh out the details and let everyone know.
Yeah, when do you expect to get details fleshed out, Ian?
I was magically hoping to do it today, but realistically, it'll probably be end of day tomorrow is a realistic delivery for that.
Yeah, no worries. Cool. Next one is me again. A lot of issues yet to be estimated in our 12.5. I've included a link there just to the list of our issues for 12.5. For newer people, the process we have is to look through the milestone and estimate any issue. If you are a back-end person, then looking at the work for back-end and particularly weighting that. Our issue weights are listed on our team page that we can link there. But basically go through that. It looks like just with the adjustments we've made to our milestone dates, we need to get these estimated a little earlier than what we sort of originally planned to. So I need to make an adjustment to the scheduling there. But pretty much right now, what we should do is just once Tim's finished and is happy with what is going in, that we actually go and estimate as soon as we can after that. And we need to update the flow there. I'll include a link in a document for the team page if people are interested for that, or someone else could. You're awesome, Nico. Yeah, mixed front end and back end, if that's the question. Just estimate the part of it that you think is like relevant to your skill set, and then the other bit you can't really tell. So like it is what it is, but you know, should just be calling out that you see that there's some back end effort required. And remember, we had that MR merged to the handbook saying that you should try to feature flag off any sort of back end, front end effort so that you're not being blocked by back end work or front end work that's required. Cool. People are having good chats here. Does anyone want to verbalize that? Tim, it's probably worthwhile.
I was just going to say, I believe according to the engineering workflow, the date is the 13th. We're supposed to agree to the scope. And I know we're a little bit behind, but yeah, so we just should maybe put the estimations a couple of days before that, or start estimating a couple of days before that.
The process that we have sort of agreed to was we create the milestone, and then in the milestone, once the milestone's actually got all the issues in it, then we were going to go through, estimate everything and make sure we had weights, and then John and I were going to add deliverable. And the concept there was to make sure that we weren't sort of agreeing to deliver on something that we hadn't had a chance to even look at as far as estimates and weighting was concerned. If that needs to happen by the 13th, then we're going to have to move everything up a little bit compared to what we had. We had set it as the 17th of the last day that we were going to estimate things by. And so if that needs to be the 13th, then let's move it up. So if everyone could kind of get into this now, that would be awesome. But thanks for that, Tim. Questions, anyone, before we moved on? Nope. Okay. And thank you for linking to that. I appreciate it. Cool. Remember to schedule, everyone should remember to schedule their one-on-ones with David. Just for newer people, we kind of have this thing that we do with team members, and I kind of encourage everyone to set up a regular schedule to do one-on-ones with each other. And so that way everyone's kind of got a little bit more of a familiar view of each other as people. That cadence doesn't have to be once a week. It could be once every other week or once every 3 weeks, whatever works for each person is fine. Just want to make sure we're chatting regularly, because that'll help us all like understand where each other is coming from a bit more, I think. But again, on your own schedule, I know that's difficult for Gigi, who's in Australia, as compared to some of us that have a bit more overlap. So, whatever we can work out, that would be helpful. And Nick.
Yeah, so this was just a bit of pre-warning. So I've got an issue assigned to me for 12.4, which is the checking groups for container images before being able to rename them. So if any projects in a group has a container image, don't allow the group to be renamed. So I've implemented that, but we've discovered an issue, or the maintainers pointed out an issue, that if there is a subgroup that has container images inside of it, or projects with container images inside of it, our check doesn't cover that scenario at this moment in time. So my merge request is basically checking if there's projects on the first level only. And therefore, the maintainers basically say we can't close the issue because my merge request doesn't fix the issue. He's happy to merge my merge request when it's passed all the review and that kind of stuff. It's just that the issue won't be closed with that merge request, and there'll be another merge request needed to account for this scenario. That's going to be completely back-end work, so it's not something I can really do. So basically, that's what I've put in the comment on the issue, and I'm just raising it today. And it will probably slip to 12.5 because of that.
On that, thank you, Nick, for that. The back-end work, is that it? You probably can't answer this question, but I'm sort of wondering how much effort's required, you think, based on a guesstimate?
So I don't know, to be perfectly honest. It's not as simple as me just saying. The simple reason is because I think these checks have performance implications. So it really requires a back-end engineer to spend some time and look into it, I'm afraid.
Yeah, all right. So we need to re-estimate that to sort of work out what effort's required. So that kind of has to slip into 12.5 then. Cool. Thank you for the heads up. And I think we already had an introduction, Nadia, unless you wanted to follow up.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to add that second time. I don't know.
No problem. We'll probably just put that up the top, but welcome again. David, go ahead.
Yeah, so a status for my issues that are coming from my package onboarding issue. So I took the simplest one, if I can tell that. And the MR is ready for review, but I still have to pass through the review and maintain review. So I don't expect it to be ready for the delivery. And well, the two other issues will be the same. They will be not ready for 12.4.
Cool. And just to be clear, David, as I think I mentioned when we had our first intro, there's no expectation that on your first MRs that you'll get them done in the milestone, just because, we know you're just starting out and onboarding takes time. And so don't stress about it. The concept was we want people to start working the way that we work as quickly as possible. The risk there is you get missed deliverables and it has to get moved and those sorts of things. And so there's a trade-off there of like stressing people out with missed deliverables or having them work in an MR or an issue that doesn't look like anything else we're doing. I'm happy for people to sort of say whether they feel like one of those or the other is better. I generally lean towards let's work the way we work, and then if there's missed deliverables, it's all good. We'll just sort of acknowledge that those things were onboarding issues. Cool. And then Nico.
Okay. So this is another heads up. While I was testing one of my MR work on QA, as per procedure, I found that that MR increased the bug that was already present. So I went on and fixed it. It's just labeling, is nothing, no functionality destruction, but still I went on and fixed. But along with the next point, at the moment, no pipeline is running since the morning. And I think this halted a little bit also the review process on the maintainer side, because they can't see tests, they can't see anything about it. So I'm afraid this put a risk on whatever it's open right now to slip past 12.4 deadline. And to Tim.
Sorry for that delay. We kind of already talked about the first or one of these here. So, okay. So the release post is all the items have to be done by this Thursday. Looking at the things that we committed to for 12.4, and it looks like we're not going to have any items really for the 12.4 release post, I think. In the kickoff doc, we had Conan, the garbage collection, CI job token for NPM, the group level container registry browser, and API endpoints to list the packages of the group. And I don't think we made any of those. So yeah, just none of those. We won't have anything for the release post. I just wanted to confirm that, right? Because I think the only thing that's close is the group level container registry browser. Do you think that will, it looks like all the changes are so close. Maybe I'll write something, and if it gets merged, we can include it. And if not, then we won't.
So I just addressed the last round of maintainer comments. And now just the pipelines are not running. So we can't see the test, we can't see anything. But okay. If everything is clear, it unblocks, it should be okay.
Okay. I'm going to write that one up, and if it's clear, then we'll sneak it in, and at least we'll have the content ready to go. Okay. The second one we kind of already talked about was the sizing, although looking through 12.4, I think we're going to have to, like Nick called out that one issue, it looks like we're going to have to bring Conan forward to 12.5. So I'm going to do some rebalancing in that milestone actually, and remove some of the issues so that we can make sure that we finish some of the things in 12.4. So after this call, maybe give me like an hour so I could just like move things from 12.4 into 12.5 and maybe move some things in 12.5 into 12.6. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, all right. So, you know, last retro that we had, I'm just on the subject of number 14, which is Tim talking about what made it in a 12.4. We talked last time about making sure that we're not overcommitting. And so there was some effort there to try to sort of minimize what we had, but I think I'm not sure whether we're just running into a lot of back-end and front-end dependencies that we didn't expect, or that there's just ends up being more work in this, in a lot of the issues we end up putting into a milestone. I think Steve going on holiday and then having everything in maintainer review is sort of tough. We tried to have Gigi follow up on those things, but it's hard to be sort of on board into the middle of a maintainer review. So that is what it is. But let's maybe have a think about how we can do a better job of sticking to what our commitments are. So I think if we have a think about that in preparation for a retro, I think that would be helpful. Because I want to be really careful. I'd prefer to sort of have a couple of things that we commit to doing and get them done than commit to doing a heap of things and not get any of them done. Because that's suboptimal and doesn't make anyone feel particularly great. Doesn't really apply to you right now, David. So so like don't worry about that. I'm curious, the link that you put up, Nico, for the pipelines not running, is that actually an active issue right now that people are tracking down, or is this something just came up in yours, or what's going on there?
Oh, that's the status issue. So we have a known problem that our pipeline are out of quota from our cloud provider. So since this morning, nothing is running, nor for us on GitLab.com.
And I didn't see, was that what you linked to? I didn't actually see a link to the actual ongoing discussion about what was failing there.
Yeah. Because maybe they will unblock, but then there is a long backlog of stuff that needs to run before start go back to normality.
Mm. I'm just wondering where I can track that issue is kind of, I guess, my question. If our pipelines aren't running, that's kind of a problem.
They are updating the issue while they go.
Okay, I'll check that again. All right, I don't have anything else. Does anyone have questions about process change here with timelines and anything else we've talked about? Nope. Cool. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for your time. I feel like we should end on a happy note. Welcome, Nadia. Oh, Ian.
I have a happy note. We successfully did awesome research. We had a goal of trying to schedule 8 people, assuming 5 would actually show up, which is kind of normal. We got 7 really excited people and just wrapped up today. So got lots of great feedback. We're on the right path. We got some new information. It was awesome. Happy news.
Cool.
That's great. Thank you for that. That's awesome. On that happy note, I'm going to not ramble anymore. Go, Tim.
I was just going to ask, Ian, can you share, you recorded the sessions, right? Did those get posted to the YouTube channel that we have?
So most of the participants preferred not to, they were willing to be recorded, but don't want to be shared. So I'm going to partner with Lori. There's a process for the right way to store those videos so that we can all look at them and get access to them without them going on YouTube. For some people, there's a really fine line there. So I'll figure out the right way to handle that.
Okay. In the past, what I did was I just set up a YouTube playlist that's private, so only GitLab could see it. I don't know if that's not the proper way, that's okay, but that seemed to work. They'll never, you know.
For sure. I'll let you know what the official process is.
Maybe you also want to share this during the group design feedback. I know that Marcel did some, he shared some of the outcomes of his research last week, and it was pretty successful. So many people can know about that. Maybe that's another.
Yeah. I don't want to commit to it until I'm finished with the synthesis because I want to make sure I get it done in time. But I definitely think it would be great to share that during that discussion, for sure. I'll make a note of that.
Great. Well, we're at time. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, however much of it is left.